Hey guys, so I am going to show you a couple of tricks or tips for traveling with mineral makeup so that it maybe doesn't make such a huge mess. So last year when Young Living came out with their Savvy Minerals makeup line, I was super excited because I was excited to have a clean, natural, safe makeup option. And I know that was something a lot of people were interested in. However, I wasn't totally crazy at first about it being all mineral makeup because in my experience, mineral makeup is just more messy than pressed powder makeup, which is what I was used to. So at first I was kind of hesitant, but over the last year as I've used it, I absolutely love the coverage and love the makeup itself. And I have learned how to deal with the makeup as far as it being messy and making it not quite so messy. So I wanted to just share a couple of tips. And a lot of people travel in the summer and are gearing up for that. And so just a few things that have helped me out. Now, if you are somebody who does not mind if the top of your makeup container is full of product, then you probably don't need this. Because I've posted some stuff about this and some people were like, I don't care, all mine look like that. That's fine. For me though, I don't like that. I only want to get enough of the product out for me to use each time. So I don't really want a ton of it. I prefer it to stay in the bottom. So some things that I do when I travel. One thing is the cotton ball trick. And that is just if your product is already not filling the top of your container, you can take a cotton ball, and depending on the size, so like for example our foundation is big enough for a whole cotton ball, and it looks like the blush and the bronzer would be. For the eyeshadows you can just tear a cotton ball in half, but you can shove it down in there and put the lid on, and that kind of creates a seal that doesn't allow any of the product, the powder, to come through the holes if it gets turned upside down in your luggage. And then when you get there, you just open it, you remove the cotton ball. It's still empty. The cotton ball has like a teeny weeny bit of product on it from where it touched those holes. Set the cotton balls aside, save them for the return trip, and you're good to go. So there's one trick. Another trick, also some people just use tape. Some people will take a piece of tape and put the tape over their holes. I've not tried that. I just use the cotton balls, but tape is another idea. Just tape your holes up, tear the tape off whenever you get there, tape them up again before you leave. Another thing you can try, and I'm not endorsing this enough, or I haven't played with enough to really endorse it, but you can press your makeup. This is one that I did. This is the bronzer, and there's just a little bit left. It's not really a very good example, but I did try pressing 3 of them. This was back in the fall, a couple months ago, just to see. It did definitely travel better because it wasn't as messy, and it didn't take, you can get a lot in these little things. It didn't take up as much space. However, I've heard conflicting views as far as if adding a binding agent then causes it to be more likely to grow bacteria or anything like that. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna re-press stuff. So like I'm using up what I have pressed here and it's been fine. That's actually what I have on my eyes right now. But I'm not gonna continue pressing it. It also takes a lot of product to get it to press, and it kind of makes me nervous that I'm gonna waste a bunch of it. So, but that is an option. You can buy these little tins on Amazon. I'll put links in the description so you can find them if you wanna give it a try. Some people have used the Art toner to press theirs. Some people, I think I used alcohol and a little bit of jojoba oil. If I have to look back. But anyway, you can Google it and try that. So that's one way, because that makes travel easier. Another thing, and this is what I'm currently doing, is you can buy these little smaller sample containers on Amazon. So like here's one in comparison to our eyeshadows. So quite a bit smaller than the eyeshadows. But you can buy these on Amazon. They're super cheap. And what I did was I just offloaded several of my different eyeshadows, blushes, that kind of stuff into these little containers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops, I just dumped them out. 10 of these in the little bitty pouch that comes inside the Savvy Minerals brush case, if you're familiar with that. 10 of those. There's no way I could fit 10 of my regular size ones in there. But I just put a small amount of the color in here, and that is plenty for me to take on a trip. Like I don't use so much that I would need like the whole container. The only thing I take the full size of is my foundation, the powder that I use as my foundation, because that does use quite a bit more, and I didn't think I would be able to fit it in one of these little things. But everything else, I just use the little ones. It's also nice because I have this pre-made, and so I just keep this packed up. I don't use this on a daily basis. And when I get ready to travel, I can just grab this, and I've got all my makeup already packed up, toss in some lip gloss, grab my brushes, and I'm good to go, and I don't have to transfer everything over. So I'm really liking that method. The only thing I would recommend is right now, with no makeup in it, it's clear. You can see my finger all the way through. Once you get the powder in there, whatever color it is, it's gonna kind of make it cloudy and makes it a little bit hard to distinguish which ones are which. So I would recommend getting little stickers and putting a sticker on, labeling them with the names. Otherwise, you have to open each one and kind of figure out what they are. I mean, you can tell like dark brown from like a light color, but it's kind of hard to tell if you have multiple light neutrals which one is which. So there's just a little tip. But yeah, that's my favorite. Again, I found those on Amazon, and I will link to them so you can grab some of those. The other thing you can do is you can also, I found this really great train case thing, makeup case. It's hard-sided. Here it is compared to the Savvy Minerals brush case. So it's about twice as big as the brush case itself, but it holds so much. It's got like this flap where you can fit all of your brushes, and then the flap covers them and keeps it from getting powder everywhere. There is a zipper right here that you could slide some stuff in there. And then there's all these, I don't want it all to fall out. There's all of these little compartments, which actually are removable, so you can move them around and make the compartments bigger or smaller. But you can put all of your makeup in there that way. So I've got foundation and the mineral veil. I've got lots of eyeshadows, lipsticks, and lip glosses. These are, this one is still empty right here, so I have more space. So this is nice because you could actually leave this as your daily use and keep it on your counter, get your makeup out. And that way when it's time to go somewhere, you don't even have to pack your makeup up. You could just close the lid, zip it up, and go. Personally, I would not prefer this if I were flying because it would be likely to get tipped upside down in your bag. And then all the makeup's gonna dump in the lids, which again, I'm not a fan of. That doesn't bother somebody. But for road trips, this is perfect because if I'm going on a road trip, I'm gonna set this down in a tote bag, and I'm likely gonna be the one who's carrying it in and out, and so I know it's not gonna get like dumped. So anyway, those are just some different things that have worked for me, and I wanted to share that with you guys as you are getting ready to travel for the summer so that you can hopefully travel with your makeup and not make a ginormous mess. Thanks guys, bye.